Monica Bradford from scrapinspired.com, and this is the first episode of Inspiration to Creation. I'm inspired by so many things in my world, and almost always when I find something that inspires me, I want to find a way to incorporate it on one of my scrapbooking or crafting projects. This series is going to show you how I go from being inspired to having a finished product. Our first piece of inspiration is a fry container. A couple of months ago, I was going through the drive-thru at Arby's, getting myself some curly fries. When I opened the bag and pulled out my box of fries, I stopped and I thought, that fry box is so cute. I loved the colors. I loved the design on the inside, the circles with the letters inside of them. I even loved the words on the front, Good Mood Food. Immediately, it reminded me of my youngest son, Keaton. He's the kind of boy that if he doesn't have food at regular times, he starts to get in a bit of a bad mood. So I thought it would be fun to make a layout using this as inspiration and document some of his favorite foods, along with the fact that he is my child that needs to eat and is always thinking about his belly. I love the colors, so I think I might incorporate some of those into my layout. I also love this design on the inside of the fry container, so I know I want to use that somehow. So let's get started for our first episode of Inspiration to Creation. Okay, so you know that we're using the fry container as our inspiration. And I always start by finding my photo, and I have this adorable photo of my son eating food, and it's usually pretty quick and easy for me to find the pictures I want because I tag them whenever I upload. So I just went into my tag for food and scrolled through until I found a picture of my son that I thought would work for this layout. I always start my layouts by pulling a bunch of product that I think I might use that'll go kind of along with my theme. And one of the things I really loved about this fry container was the colors. So I made sure to pull some things together that would pull those colors and use those colors. This is a piece of paper by Crepe Paper. It's from their random collection. It's called Wallpaper. The other side has this lovely pink, but I'm going to use the green. It has a nice pattern to it, very tone-on-tone, subtle pattern, which is what I really like to use for my backgrounds. I grabbed a piece of just white textured cardstock because I want to create something that uses this idea of the circles and maybe even the letters. So I want to have a white base to use for that. And then I went in my scrap drawer and I grabbed some scraps that might work. I also have this orange scrap. I have this green. This is one of my last pieces. I've used this paper a ton. I've got kind of green circles. The Arby's container also has kind of a darker red on it. It's got the green and orange and white, but it's got this kind of darker red. So I went ahead and pulled this red check. It's the back of a Studio Calico alphabet soup paper. And I got the red from there, and then I also have this Amy Tangerine. In case I want to move away from the circles, I also have this Amy Tangerine grid paper. It's from her sketchbook collection. It's called Cindy's Sketch, and it's got this nice orange on the back. So those are the papers that I'm going to pull from. Now I always pull more than I'm probably going to use, so I may not use all of these, but at least have them as options, and they go along with my theme. Now, I also pulled some other products that I might use. I have this card. It's a Allie Edwards journaling card, and it says observations on it, and I might use that. Oops. There you go. I might use that as my journaling card, or I might just use it as kind of a block to put embellishments on. I went ahead and pulled, I like the idea of using some more neutrals in my layout. So this is an alphabet also by Studio Calico. It's from their original classic calico set. So it's just some cardstock stickers. I might use those. I also pulled this. It's by Jelly Bean Soup. It's their Dutch mustard soup sticker sheet. And it just has a lot of colors I'm going to use. So I'm not sure. I might use some of these word stickers down here, or I might use one of these stickers over here, but I went ahead and pulled it as an option. I also pulled the Amy Tangerine sticker book for her sketchbook collection. It's got a lot of good colors that I'm using, but it's also got several circles, and I want to use some different kinds of circles in my layout so that it mimics this circle motif that's in here. So I went ahead and pulled it because it not only does have the colors, but it's got several different circle options that I might use. Again, to pull in some of those neutral colors, I have some Martha Stewart labels, and I might, again, use that as a place to journal or as a like a place to house some embellishments. I have this little sticker strip. It's from, or it's not a sticker strip, it's just a strip of cardstock from, I believe it's from the Note to Self collection, and it just has all the months and all the days of the week, and I thought it would be kind of a cute little addition because we're talking about how he's hungry all the time. And I have this sticker set that is also from Little Yellow Bicycle, and it's got all kinds of different food things, food words, food stickers, and I kind of liked this From the Kitchen Of. It had several of the colors, and I thought that might be a good place to add on just a little sticker embellishment on my layout. So I might use that. And then to create the circle effect, I have two ideas. I'm not sure which one I'll do. I don't want to make it the whole background. I want to make it a place, just a larger piece of pattern paper. So I may use this Bubbles mask by Studio Calico with some of their Mr. Huey's. This is pumpkin spice. So I'm going to try that and see what I think. And if I don't like it, I also have this spiced marmalade distress ink, and I have some just circle stamps. They're from Stampin' Up! That I could use to kind of create that effect. And then I have some little alphabet stamps that I could also use. So I'm gonna try both and see what I think for my layout. And then just to finish it up, I like to have a few other little embellishments. I love this Yes, especially when it comes to food. These are Ormolu Flare. I have some Dear Lizzie buttons that have that red in there and some orange, and it also brings in that neutral. And then I really liked this tag from Jilly Bean from their apple cheddar soup, and it says the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I thought that was really cute. I might use that. And I always like to pull a few rolls of washi tape that might go along with what I'm doing. So I've got some green, red, and this is kind of an orangey yellow that I might use. And I like a little bit of glitter even on my boy pages, so I grabbed my orange and green stickles, and it's possible I might pull those on. So I've got a whole lot of supplies here. First, I'm going to get started by trying out some techniques for the bubbles to see what I like best. I always get out a box to put my spray mist in so that it doesn't get all over my table, but I go ahead and put a craft mat underneath it just to be safe. I have my cardstock cut to size. I went ahead and cut it 5 inches by 10 inches. I don't want it to take up the whole layout, but I want it to be a good size piece of paper. I'm not sure if I want to try to do, I think I'm gonna just do the mask once and kind of catty corner it so there's some bubbles on there. I know the picture is gonna go down here, so it'll take up some of that space. And I want to make sure my Mr. Huey's is nice and mixed together. And then I just start spraying and see what happens. Now that that's sprayed, I'm going to set it aside and let it dry and go ahead and work on stamping my other sheet and to see what I think compare the two together. I don't want it to be totally even. I'm not going to worry about everything being perfect. I more want it to just be this look of circles everywhere. Some of them are going to stamp off and the edges. I just want them to have this repeating pattern but not be perfect. Plus that would take too much time and make me go crazy. Okay, there's the first round. Now this circle is quite a bit smaller than the circle in there, and I'm not sure, I'm gonna do some of them centered, but I don't think I wanna make all of them be centered. So I'll kind of just be, some of them I want to be more kind of off to the edge. Make it be more interesting. Really like that, I think it's really cute. Now I want to add in some K's for my son Keaton. And I'm not sure if I want to keep it the orange. I might mix it up and add in some red. I really like this Jenny Bolin chili powder. It's kind of a darker red. I think I'll do that. And I'm, again, just going to kind of scatter them around. So there's my paper that I've created. I'm not sure if I'll use this or if I'll use the spray misted paper. Let's take a look at how the other one turned out. Okay, here's the spray misted paper, which is also super cool. I can't put the K's on here quite like I did on the others, and I really like how similar this is to the inspiration layout. So I might use a combination. I might cut this down a little bit and use just a section of it as some pattern paper, but use this one as the bigger piece, because I really like how it mimics my inspiration item. So I might end up using both. Okay, so I'm just going to trim down some of this so that it's smaller. I don't want it to be as large as this one. And I'm wondering about kind of using it as a supporting piece that way. And then I can put my photo more like that. And then you get the look of both. But this one I made shines. I think I want to use a little bit of red to map my photo to stand it out from the background a little bit. So let's see how that looks. Yeah, I like the red. I don't want it to turn too Christmassy, so I want to keep my red small, not a ton of it. And that'll look really cool right there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut off the branding strip. And we're starting to come together. And I want to pull in some of my details to see where they might fit. I think I'm going to put the journaling down here. And I think this will be a good spot up here for the title. Although it might be better to put my top. I'm not sure if it'll work as well down here where it would fit. So I may just pop it like that, like a tag. I want to bring in some more of the color. So I think I'm going to add a strip of washi tape. All right, so I'm going to start putting some of these things down so that I can figure out where it's all going to go. I like the idea of this strip, but I don't want to cover up all of it, especially the days of the week part. I think that's really cute. So I'm going to use washi tape to kind of bridge the gap between the two. Plus it brings some of that fun color back in. Okay, so I was going to slide the observations tag in like in there. I think I want to add a little bit more color in there with a piece of this. I'm going to cut a little strip of the screen, and I'm going to use this border punch. It's one of my favorites. It's a kind of a wave look, and like almost like a bracket punch. I love it because it's a great border for using on boy pages. Just, it doesn't feel too girly, which I really like. And I want to be sure that the center points right at the center. So I'm going to do the center punch first. So I want it to point up here, and then I will punch the outside edges. That gives us this cute little wave that we can kind of tuck in behind there to add in a little bit more color. I'm going to save this. I'm not sure where I want to put it yet. But I like this part. Piece of washi tape up there too. Kind of coming underneath. Just to add some color in. Might be really cute. Still need to find, we're just going to put the title here, and I'm probably going to add the tag over here for the journaling. Let's see if we can work that in. Some of these stickers are a little bit hard to get underneath. I'm just going to trim them down to the size that I want. I think this one will tuck nicely under here now. That gives me a nice place to write. I was going to use this brown, but this is kind of a deep goldy brown, similar to this. And I've got that here, and it's kind of peeking out at the bottom, and I want some more of this brighter yellow. So I'm gonna pull some different letter stickers. These are also by Jelly Bean Soup. This is their apple cheddar soup, and it's got this brighter tone to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and use those. I always spell my words backwards. I don't know if I have enough O's. Oops. See, when you spell backwards, you gotta pay attention. Because I just did the wrong word. I need to do the last word, not the first word. I don't have enough O's. So I'm gonna take these 9s and just kind of trim them around. To look like O's. The zeros were too tall. I would have used zeros, but they were too tall. They would have looked funny since it's a very repetitive type title. I might move those a little bit. Let's see if they'll go. In the original box, the words line up, but my M is a little bit too wide for that to work. So I'm going to see if I can center instead. Since I knew I wasn't going to have enough O's, I wanted to be sure the O's that were different or a little bit off would be in the middle so that they would look more symmetrical in the end. So the top and bottom are the real O's, and then the ones that are in the middle are the different O's. There's my title that goes along with my inspiration, Good Mood Food. Good Mood Food. I went ahead and added in the journaling and wrote on the tag, from the kitchen of Mama, and I put the date. Now it's time to add the last few embellishments and our layout will be finished. Definitely want to use this Yes flare button, and I think I'm going to put it up here in the corner somewhere, probably like that. And then I want to use these 2 wooden buttons, but I want to put some twine on them just to decorate them up a little bit. So So I'm going to thread them through. Now I've got a cute little X on my heart. I'm just going to trim down the strings so you don't see them. Add a glue dot to the back. And be sure those strings get stuck into the glue dot so that they will stick on the page. And I might put a second glue dot on just for, make sure it sticks to my layout. And I'm going to do the same with this. I'm going to tie them in a little knot. And just trim off the ends. We've got a cute little tied button. Once again, I'll use a glue dot on the back. This one's going to go down in this corner. I'm going to use a pop dot on this flare button. It comes with a pop dot on the back, but it usually the stick rips off, so I just go ahead and rip off the one it comes with and add my own. Then I wanted to add, still want to find a place for this. Lift it up. I don't like that. It doesn't show up enough. It's too close to the other. Up there. Let's see. No, not there either. Uh-oh, but it's stuck to my picture now. This may just not work onto this layout. There we go. That's better. That separates it from this down here. It still adds it on. Okay, and then I wanted to add in some of these, a few of these circles, like this green one. I like this orange one up here tucked with that. Another orange one kind of down here. Make a little trio of the three. Have this little, tuck this little black one under here, just so that we have a trio there as well. That brings in some of the black and white. One thing I want to do is to accentuate the fact that this is a child that likes to eat every day of the week. I want to go ahead and I'm going to take some of my orange stickles just to bring in a little bit more of that orange. And I'm going to dot each one of these little, I dot it across there. I'm going to add just a few dots up here. There's our layout. Good mood food. Now it's your turn. Create a layout inspired by my layout, by my fast food container, or by a fast food container of your own, and then leave a link below in the blog post so that we can all share the inspiration. Thank you for joining me for Inspiration to Creation. I'm Monica Bradford, and until we meet again, I hope you find time to scrap inspired. La, 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 la.